Hello Cancer, I'm Ulrich, I'm a Lenormand card reader, but today we will do the financial card reading for the sign of Cancer for the month of November. As always, we will do 4 card readings for the sign of Cancer for the month of November. And these are based on the natural elements in your astrological chart, or for some of you on your time of birth. These 4 basic elements are air, earth, water, and fire. Now, the 4 objects that you always see on my table are directly connected to those elements. So you choose or you pick one that you think relates most to your personality, or you choose one you feel most comfortable with. This subject of your choice, it should or it will relate the best to your current situation. However, if the object and the related video does not match your first choice, please check the other videos that are directly connected in the same session. I'm sure one of the 4 will fit you. Anyway, the matches represent the fire element, the stone represents the earth element, the aerosol sprayer represents the air element, and the shell represents the water element. So Cancer, here we go for your financial card reading for November 2021. Hello Cancer, and welcome to the Shell or the Water group for your short financial philosophical card reading for November 2021. The first card that we see here is the card of overconsumption. We all live in a world of overconsumption, and we are daily confronted with advertisement. So sometimes our definition of essential goods is no longer clear. We cannot see anymore what we need our real necessities compared to the luxuries that we are buying everywhere. Things are changed, basic needs have changed. Before 20 years or 30 years ago, we could not imagine that a cell phone was part of our life. Now it's part of our daily package. Internet access is a basic right now. Also, a lot of us travel around, so society has evolved, has changed. Essentials has been replaced and deplaced. So this card tells you to evaluate your real needs within the society, and also ask yourself the question, with all these luxury things, are you happier than your ancestors? Maybe not. It adds also that sometimes we buy things that we don't actually need. We overconsume in general here. Sometimes we collapse under things we buy that we don't actually need. We lose sight of the very essence of life here. This is what this card is about. Maybe maybe this group is a type that is easily to be influenced here by publicity around us and by non-essential goods. And this card, the first card here, wants to ask you if you live according to your basic needs, or do you live to what society suggests you. If you change your habits, this card tells you you will be able to improve yourself, but also you will need to see that you clear your mind from any form of publicity that we are confronted with. What publicity is that? Well, the publicity that is around us. If we watch in the outside, the bus pass by, we see publicity. We open the internet, several advertises are popping up in our life. We can of course avoid a lot of things. We can put ad blockers, but we cannot exclude the advertisements that we see in the outside. It's everywhere. It's a bombardment here of information. The propaganda is everywhere. We need to consume in order to be a normal person. And sometimes we lose, as the first card here, the idea what is really essential in our life. Anyway, realize this is a certain pressure or a continuous pressure of marketing. If you can, and you are very influenced by marketing or by publicity, try to stop reading the flyers, put ad blockers, as I said. If this influences your budget in a negative way, you especially would better off if you can take action in that area. So this card asks you to take a critical look at the influence of these advertisements towards your person. If you try to ignore or minimize these, you will probably get a better point on the whole situation. And the last card is for our daily needs, or for our mensualities or our monthly needs. We have all expenses that come back every month. what is the monthly expenses? Well, the monthly expenses is, for instance, the internet access that we have. Each month we pay for that. We pay our rent, we pay our phone bill, we pay magazine subscriptions. These are recurrent and systematics. We pay little attention to these things, but this card wants you specifically want to take notice of that, because most of the people here, they don't notice if that increase. Mostly when you sign in or sign up for such a payment, it's in a promo, and after the firm, when this promo time, maybe this is 1 or 2 years, they adjust without actually informing you, meaning they adjust the rates and you are no longer in the promo and they don't inform you of this. But we as informed customers, we should be aware of this, but we don't pay attention to time limited offers. So this card tells you to pay attention to those things. Also, if you see that your internet company changed the rates, check if there are no new discounts. Also, this is about our insurance portfolio. Just try to review this. Take the advice of a broker, check your annual and your monthly expenses in your bank accounts. If you see that your bank is overcharging you, compare the rates with other banks. If you are surprised what your bank is charging you, what you can also do is go for internet banking. Internet banks are very cheap. Why? Because they have no people, they have no staff, so it's very cheap to work for them. They have no branches, they have no physical location. So here, if you work with internet banks, for instance, you can save a lot of money. Don't be surprised if you go for internet banking. What you pay there with an internet bank, well, you pay your plastic for your cars, but for the rest, you pay your withdrawals, and these are very minimized, and you cannot pair the rates. If you compare this to a traditional bank, you will see that on a year basis, you save maybe 1,000 to 2,000 euro or dollar a year. This is not surprising because this is average. So just check this out. If this could be the case here, maybe this is why this card is here. It wants you to save money and it wants you to evolve and grow in your life. So if you all mount this whole thing up, it will save you a lot of money on a year basis. Anyway, for this group, this is all for now. I hope you get a little bit wiser out of this card reading, Cancer. If you did, please subscribe to my channel. If this reading don't fit you at all, please check out the card readings that are connected here, and also our short love card readings that we do each month for the sign of Cancer that are now available. And of course, our extensive card readings for Lenormand that we do every month, very detailed for your sign. Anyway, I want to thank you for your time, and I'm sure we see each other in my other card readings. Thank you and bye-bye for now. Hello, Cancer, and welcome to the Aerosol or the Air group for your philosophical financial card reading for the month of November. The first card here that we see here is the card of deals or discounts here. Possibly this group that we are having here is much into or is a lot into discounts. We all, of course, check out the sections of liquidations in hope finding a beautiful object or piece of clothes, or some of us are looking for things that are unnecessary. Anyway, we are looking for a product that has been discounted to a ridiculous amount. But the question here with this card is, do we really need those items? And then the first thing, of course, we think about, we only get a good deal if we are actually buying the item at a lower price than its original price, because some merchants are very smart. They add the price and then they put the discount. So actually you have no discount. So we need to be careful with this here. This card tells you not to be overwhelmed or bewitched by sales or discounts, to tell you to keep your head cool, question yourselves, even if it seems reasonable. The question is, do you really need this article? Anyway, if we always go into discounts or we always looking for liquidations, we spend more money, or we tend to spend more money than we anticipated. And the question is this really necessary? Anyway, also this is about bulk buying. Some people buy a lot of stuff in bulk, and then at the end of the month, they catch themselves, they give it away to their neighbors, to their family members, because there's an expire date on the goods or on the food that they bought. And the question that this card asks you then, is this really economizing? So actually this card is about not to overflow your house with goods that you don't actually need. Try to ignore certain discount and liquidations, and your wallet will be improved. And the laying here that we are seeing, it wants you to improve your financial situation. And actually it wants you to set up, instead of spending money, it wants you to set an automatic savings account. What is an automatic savings account? Well, it's actually the most efficient and simple way to save money. It's like an organized system for your savings. First, you need to check out what amount exactly that you can incalculate in your budget. You calculate what you spend here on things that you don't need, and instead on spending on those things, you put this in your savings account. It's like an automatic system. You go to your website of your bank, and automatically what you spend on things normally, you put in your savings accounts. It's a fixed amount. You need to work out for yourself how much you can put in these accounts, and this money is fixed. It goes into in your savings account. It stays there. It grows, and you grow yourself financially here. This is what the intention here. As you go on, as the months pass by, you will assimilate serious amounts of money, and you will see that you are happy because your wallet is growing. And if you see you can save more, you can contribute even more, and you can invest or reinvest or save according to certain targets. Maybe you need something for your children. Maybe there's a trip you want to take with the family. Maybe you want to renovate your house. Whatever it is here, anyway, by regularly increasing these amounts over the years, you will amount or accumulate important sums here. So this card urges you to get to discipline yourself and upgrade your savings, and you will begin a virtuous circle which will lead to more stability in your life. Then the last card that we are seeing here is if we have bought a little bit too much here in the discounts, we need to be resilient. If we are in a difficult situation with our credit cards for now, maybe we need to recover it for a while. We need to accept the facts that we bought too much maybe before. We need to reflect on our situation, and maybe we learned an important lesson, and maybe we think we don't want to do this no more, and that's why the middle card of the savings is there. So you need to recognize here probably that you had a certain life lesson. You need to try to make the best of it if you spend a little bit too much. We also need to add to this that many people, even rich people who spend too much money, spend small amounts of money, ended up in financial difficulties. So we are never alone in difficult situation. But anyway, we need to reflect on this situation. We need to become aware of flaws, weaknesses that we have in our life, and we need to turn these things into advantages. So don't focus, it's not a question of bad luck, but you need to see it as an obstacle that you must overcome. We must be resilient here, learn the lesson and bounce back. By applying this resilience, when you are in a better position, you can put the money in the future in your savings account, and you will recognize the importance of this lesson. Anyway, for Cancer, for the air group, this is all. I hope you get a little bit wiser out of this financial philosophical card reading. If you did, please subscribe to my channel. If this card reading don't fit you at all, please check out the other 3 card readings that are connected here. Please check out also the short love card readings that we do now with Lenormand, and of course the extensive card readings that we do each month for the sign of Cancer for your Lenormand. Anyway, I want to thank you for your time you spend on my channel, and I'm sure we see each other in my other videos. Thank you and bye-bye for now. Hello Cancer, and welcome to the Stone Group for your philosophical financial card reading for November 2021. The first card that we are seeing here is the card of superficious things that we are buying, actually things that we don't really need. So this card asks you how many purchases did you make in the last month that you would be able would have been able to avoid. So this card asks you to take a few minutes of your time and assess your expenses for the last month, output your bills, your credit cards, and what are the disbursements that you have already forgotten about, and add these. So if you calculate and make the sum of these incidental costs, probably you come to a nice amount. And then, of course, the question is, what could you have offered yourself that was essential with that same money? So this is about for avoiding these incidental costs. Like the majority of the population, we are all tend to spend things on frivolous purchases, and we spend more than we think. This card asks you to limit these extras. If you do so, you can accumulate attractive amounts, for instance, for saving for irregularities in life here. That is the last card that we are seeing here. Maybe that is the but here that we are seeing here. You can save for your retirement. Anyway, if you have, if this card is here up on this group, it tells you to take the opportunity to think about these habits that you have for superstitious buying, and maybe we need to think about our future. The second card is the card of proportions. We see here that everything in life is relative, and it depends on the person. Our salary differentiates all of us, but here also this card wants us to make a distinction, meaning if you are a single parent and you have 3 children, the situation is very different than you are working with 2 people, you have a low rent, and you have only 1 child. For instance, we all know that $2 in these times, or €2, can mean the difference for a poor family for eating or not eating. There's a lot of problems now caused due to the viruses that are surrounding us, or that are assumingly surround us. Anyway, here we need to be relative with our money. We need to be careful here. We need to manage and find a balanced budget here. So this card asks you to make establish a relationship between your outflow and the money of your salary. Eventually, this card tells us that it's you who do the counting. You are in charge of your balances. So you need to relativize here your current expenses. You need to educate yourself more. So take a piece of paper, make categories of importance, see what you buy, what is essential, luxurious, and what you don't actually need. And if you see that some categories are out of proportion, then you know exactly where your problem is. So you need to put everything in context here. If you do so, you will be able to save money. And then we go in the next card, because it's connected to it. And this card tells us that no matter in what stage of life we are, there will always be rainy days, there will be storms, we know about this. And when it comes to money, it would be unrealistic that nothing can happen to us, that we don't need to prepare for the irregularities in life, because that is what this card is about. So this card asks you if you have a rescue plan. Do you have a safety cushion? Did you foresee the unforeseen? Because we know life is unpredictable. We never know what will happen or when it will happen. So this card asks you if you are ready for facing financial turmoil, for sudden smaller disruptions. Did you prepare? How did you prepare? So this is a card here for irregularities in life. So ask yourself, do you have enough insurances? Is your income stable? Is your car well maintained? This is a card that wants us to be safe. It wants us to look in the future here. Also, it is the card about saving. You see here that the umbrella is above the pig. So the pig wants more savings. So here you need to reflect if you don't need more savings, if you're in a secure situation. So this card asks you to act in control, and if necessary, make more savings than you can, and foresee the unforeseen. So Cancer, for the Stone group, this is all for this month. I hope you get a little bit wiser out of this short card reading, philosophical card reading. If you did, please subscribe to my channel. If this card reading don't fit you at all, please check out the other 3 card readings that are connected here. And please check out also the short Love Lenormand card readings that we do now each month. And of course, the extensive Lenormand card readings that we do for your sign every month in detail. So anyway, you're welcome to visit my channel in all these videos that are there prepared for you. I want to thank you for your time, and I'm sure we see each other in my other videos. Thank you and bye-bye for now. Hello Cancer, and welcome to the matches or the fire group for your short philosophical financial card reading. The first card that we are seeing here is the card of accomplishments. Probably you come in a slightly better financial situation, and you've done some efforts, and these efforts, they bear fruits here. So probably you're able to see some changes in your life. Maybe you worked hard and your accomplishments are becoming visible. And here we see that we should also not compare ourselves to others, but rather highlight the positive transformations that we have reached so far in our life. But this card also asks you, what did you do for yourself on the long term? Did you make some savings? Did you make some changes? Did you improve? Is there something that need to be changed in your life for yourself to improve more? If there are some things that you are not really agreeing with and you want to improve more, this card tells you not to be discouraged. You should write down your accomplishments and how far you have come so far, because there are no small or big successes. It's the way we improve here. That is the accumulations. It's the changes that, the lasting changes that create the difference in your own eyes and in your own life. So appreciate the progress that you have made so far. And keep persevering here. And also the next card, then don't bend for social pressure, because maybe this group is weak for social pressure. What is social pressure? Well, we as human beings, at least most of us, compare themselves constantly to their peers. We live in a community, and this community determines our place in relation to other people. We operate in a society that is over-consuming, and our friends, neighbors, brothers, sisters, they drive around in luxurious new cars, they're wearing nice designer clothes, the latest shoes, they have the latest gadgets. And some of us, for our part, we are living through difficulties, and at the end of the month, we don't know how to handle ourselves financially. And then we ask ourselves, or you ask yourself, this group asks themselves, how do these people do that? How do my neighbors, friends, relatives manage to get there with all these luxurious things? So this card tells you not to be fooled. You are the one who making choices every day. You are the one responsible for these actions. So don't let appearances fool you. This card suggests that you so far managed your money very wisely, and you should continue to do so. If you want to make more savings, this card tells you also that there's a lot of stuff online for sale. For instance, if you need a new laundry machine, there's a lot of stuff here, for instance, in websites where they sell new unused goods. Sometimes the warranties are still with it. You can find a lot of stuff in secondhand sites. For instance, if you want to buy a car, you could consider a used car with a low mileage and with a very extensive warranty. Some firms, they give up to 3 years warranty. There's even a total investigation package. They check the car triple times. You have the result of those checkings. So you can save a lot of money here with that kind of stuff, buying secondhands here. Anyway, this card tells us we need to live according to our own needs and our own abilities. So you need to define yourself socially by your own personality and your own accomplishments. This is important, more important than the clothes that you are buying. So don't buy for any social pressure. Go your own way, try to buy things on deals, for instance, as I mentioned before, and don't compare yourself to others. Then the last card is the card about heritage. What does this card mean? Well, some people incalculate the inheritance of their parents in future investments, but this card tells you to be careful with that. Don't fool yourself. It's dangerous here to incalculate inheritance for certain investments, or especially for our old age. Why is that? Well, unless that your parents are already very unfit and they're in their last days, we have never read their will, and therefore we are never sure that we are their sole heir. So, and we will not be sure till actually that the notary or the lawyer, he reads the will of our parents. Also, we need to take under consideration that the generations, the current generations, they live much longer, like 80 years old. It's no longer an exception here. And as people get older, they gradually need more savings, or their savings for services suited to their survival and their age. Of course, we cannot blame them. They work for the money. So it's dangerous to incalculate things like that. Also, here we need to secondly add that we never know if they have changed their testamentary dispositions. They can do at any time, and we never know if our parents, our father or our mother, they do not succumb to the young Venus living next door, or Cupid they met on the internet, and they will not decide to favor this new lover in expense or at the expense of the descendants. So we need to be careful with these inheritance and in calculating that in certain parts of our life. It can be part of a retirement analysis, but still here we need to be careful. Anyway, this card wants actually that you plan your old days independendly and from this inheritance, and if you do so, you are already won the battle. Anyway, for Cancer, for the matches, for the fire group, this is all for this month, for this philosophical financial card reading. I hope you get a little bit wiser out of it. If you did, please subscribe to my channel. If this card reading don't fit you at all, please check the other 3 card readings that are directly connected to it. Please check also now the monthly short love card readings we do for the sign of Cancer, and the extensive Lenormand card readings that you already know that we do each month for your sign. Anyway, I want to thank you for your time and for your attention and the time you spend on my channel. Thank you for watching, and I'm sure we see each other in my videos. Thank you, Cancer, and bye-bye for now.